Welcome to Nightclub, guys. It's your host, the Night Wrencher. There's a lot of echo here in my new workshop, but I'm finally getting settled in, and I figured I'd post a quick video on you guys since I got all excited and I set up my carburetor workstation. Some of you might notice this isn't my Matco toolbox anymore, but it's just as messy, so you guys wouldn't be thinking that I'm too fancy pants to clean up my stuff now. Today I wanted to show you guys how to install your own custom Airbleeds on your Holley main bodies. And this will basically work for any 4-barrel square bore carburetor made by Holley. If you try to do this on a spread bore, sometimes these are in different locations and it might not actually work. And some of them don't even have the low speed Airbleeds, or some of them don't have high speed. I don't know. I just know that I'm going to be drilling them out and I'm going to be installing new Airbleeds. This one is an 850 double pumper main body of 47780. Right. So this is an 800 double pumper, 850 double pumper. And as you guys can see, I've already drilled out and tapped for these Airbleeds. So there's two types of Airbleeds. There's these newer style of the shouldered Airbleeds, which look really trick. They look really nice. This Alcohol Demon main body has the shouldered Airbleeds, but this main body used to have the Airbleeds without the shoulder, which kind of looks like this. I mean, it's not fair to say it doesn't have a shoulder. It does have a shoulder, but it's considerably smaller. I can't even focus on them. Let's see if I can get a side to side. So these are the two types of Airbleeds you guys can pretty much pick up. You can get them anywhere on eBay. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them pretty much anywhere. And you've got the two types, the shoulder, the really big shouldered ones that are used on all the newer carburetors, and then you can have the smaller brass set screw type that these also seem to work as well. You can pretty much pick up a bunch of them for cheap. And they're all blank, so you actually have to drill them out yourself. So you have to know if you want to put it back to how it was and just have adjustable Airbleeds, you're just going to have to measure out what you already have and then translate it to your brand new bleed. So these are all blanks. I'm going to be drilling them out. I'm going to be drilling them out 5 sizes lower than they were from factory. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of work there. So as you can see, I've already done this on this 850 main body. And basically on these older Holleys, there's not a lot of room, but it is doable, definitely doable. So there it is, basically right there. It's not very pretty. I did accidentally powder coat over this, thinking I was never going to use this main body ever again. Turns out I'm experimenting on it, so it looks really messy. If you want to use the big shouldered ones, they're not going to work on these main bodies unless you do a lot of clearancing along the top. So you guys can see right there where I've clearanced it slightly, and it's not enough to cover these shouldered Airbleeds. So just keep that in mind. On some of the newer ones, you can see that the manufacturer already set up like a little clearance area for it. So this main body is already ready to go, ready to be drilled and tapped, and should have no problems running the newer style. This is essentially the same main body, and you can tell that they look absolutely perfect right there. And if you guys don't believe me, I have another 600 right here that we can use as a comparison, and this is basically the same thing as the 850. So I'm going to be using this 600 main body as our guinea pig today. So basically we're going to be going and drilling and tapping the 2 high-speed Airbleeds on this. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what you are going to need to do to achieve that. Okay, so I've got the carburetor on the drill press. You really want to use a drill press. You don't need to have one that's this big, but I bought this one a long time ago and I've just been using it. The drill bit you're going to use is a number 21 drill bit, and I'll show you guys the tap that I'm using as well. You can buy the kits online. They're about $45, and it comes with about 8, I believe, 8 or 10 of the Airbleeds that you can use as blanks, but the blanks are so cheap, and then the drill bits and the taps are so cheap. There's no point in actually buying the kits if you already know what size and thread pitch you're going to need. So you're going to chuck it up on the drill press. You're going to go ahead and make sure that when you go all the way down, that your travel all the way down reaches just far past the end of the air bleed channel. You're not going to want to go past. So this is your air bleed right there, your air bleed channel right there. You don't want to go past that at all. You want to drill just enough to get the little brass inserts out, and you're going to want to have enough travel down to access all the threads on your air bleed so they look nice and tidy. So I'm going to try to do this on camera. Let's see if I can do this in real time. So I'm just going to go ahead and just get close. This isn't any kind of CNC machine. It's a lot of eyeballing, and if you do this right, you should be able to get this pretty darn close. The drill bit's pretty good at self-centering itself because of the point. So it is a little bit difficult with one hand, but it looks like I got it. If I mess it up, then it just shows that you shouldn't do this with one hand. Yeah, that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the drill press, and we're going to start drilling. You're just going to want to go slow. You don't want to break, you do not want to break this inside the carburetor. That would be really, really bad. I'm just going slow, You don't want to overheat the bit. You don't want it to slip inside of the chuck. You want to go ahead and just make sure you cut all the way through. You're going to feel when you get past the bronze insert, the brass insert, and when you get toward the bottom, and then you're just going to go ahead and pull back up. And then I'm just going to turn on the machine. Alright, so let's take a look at this. As you can see, perfectly round, circular hole. You shouldn't have anything blocking the way at all, so you're going to want to blow this out as much as possible. Get all the junk out, make sure it's all clean and clear before you start the next process, which is grabbing your tap. So the tap you're going to use, it's going to be a 10-32 NF 10-32 NF tap. So that's this one. So 10-32 NF. You want to go ahead and chuck this up in your little tool. And not all air bleeds are the same thread pitch, but you should keep in mind which ones do belong to what. Okay, so I'm gonna have to remove these. So before you start cutting, you're gonna want to go ahead and remove your vent tubes because they're probably gonna get in the way. The way I remove them is just by using these welding pliers, the ones that I use to snip the wire when I'm welding. They work pretty good because they'll grab all the way around. And then now you should have enough room for your tool. So let's go ahead and insert this. And I'm going to set you guys down so you guys can see the process. Okay, so you're going to want to go ahead and center yourself. And you're going to want to use a little bit of lube. You can use cutting lube. You can use just basically WD-40. It's aluminum or zinc or whatever. So it's really, really easy to cut. But I don't like to get snagged up on anything. So you're going to want to do a little bit of lube just to get it going. You want to have, if you're going to invest inside buying some of these bits, buying some of these taps, you're going to want to take care of them. And if everything's all lubed up, they should last you a good long time. You should be able to do several carburetors with only a couple bucks invested. Alright, normally you're going to want to blow this out with your air compressor, but I don't have an air compressor right now. And so there's a hole, plenty of meat along the sides. I don't know, maybe you guys can see that. But the proof is in the pudding, so we'll go ahead and we'll grab one of the smaller shouldered air bleeds. I'm just going to set it in there. And obviously you're going to not want to do this in your vehicle. You're not going to want to change air bleeds in your vehicle unless you know exactly what you're doing. So I'm just going to screw them in just like jets. And I'm just going to bottom them out. And there you go. You now have adjustable air bleeds. So I hope this helps somebody. I'll see you guys out on the next one. Night Wrencher out.